This week on Arizona Illustrated, we celebrate mothers by going fast, training hard,
get the knee in between him and you,
creating a more beautiful and interesting world, and our favorite place, the University of Arizona main gate. Welcome to Arizona Illustrated. I'm Tom McNamara. Mom, mother, ma, words that bring to mind one who loves, cares for, and protects their family. And the women you're about to meet certainly do so, and they also love and care for themselves in some very special ways. For Cindy Hawk, it's all about speed and reliving that time when everything was just a blur.
If you're not having fun, you shouldn't be here. So, I mean, it's all about family.
Growing up, when people asked me what I wanted to do, my response to my parents' horror was, I want to drive a semi-truck. And they're like, why does our daughter want to drive a semi-truck, really?
I'm Cindy Hawk, and we are out at Southwestern International Raceway. And today I'm going to be racing in the box category for our last team race of the season.
And you tell them, oh yeah, my wife racing. Well, what's she race? Well, a 750 dragster. What? You know? My name is Chuck Hawk Jr. I have an automotive repair business in Tucson, and we drag race for a hobby with the family.
Chuck is my husband. We've been married for 29 years. You know, he's my best friend, and you know, this is his passion.
I think Chuck is track champion every other year. I mean, he wins a lot. Brad was, I think, 7 days old when we brought him out to the track the first time because Chuck couldn't race if I wasn't helping. And then the kids got a little older, and I'm like, you know, I'm not having fun anymore. It's hard taking care of kids and taking care of you in this race car, and this isn't working for me. About that same time, the track out here was opening. So I'm like, well, do you think I could drive that car? You know, at least on Friday nights, I'd just like to make a pass or two. I remember it was just asphalt, and at the end of the asphalt, there was a bathroom. And it was a quarter-mile away. It was a long way away. And I was so paranoid. I'm like, what happens if I run into the bathroom?
It was funny because the first time she went down the racetrack, she just wanted to go down and make time runs and just go out and have fun. And all of a sudden, she was hooked as soon as she made a couple passes. I think the first thing she said when she got out of the car is, I understand now.
I just held on and drove, and it was just a blur going by. You know, I couldn't see anything. And now I have time to look at the gauges, I can look around, I can see the other car that I'm racing, and so the more you do it, the faster you want to go, because you want that feeling from the first time when everything was a blur.
I think she likes to go fast. I mean, she obviously likes to win, but she likes going fast.
I didn't know I had that desire until I got in the car, and then I was like, ooh, you know, the motor, the smell, you know, you just have such control, and it's such a big, powerful thing. I'm very claustrophobic, and I really don't like being buckled in the car at all.
So yeah, it looks like it is Cindy in the Hawk family racing car.
And so I want to get in at the last possible minute, and then that's my way of just, okay, you're calm, you're ready, you buckled yourself in, it's all okay. I was raised, women can do anything men can do, and I have consistently applied that across my life. Chuck fully supports that concept and has encouraged me all the way through. So it's a matter of having the right support system and believing in yourself. kind of hit these milestone birthdays and I think, oh, should I retire? But then something happens and I win or I do well and I'm like, oh, I'm not ready to retire. I haven't done this and I haven't done that. I couldn't imagine life without racing, you know? I can't imagine it. I just can't imagine it.
Every mother is unique, each with different life experiences, talents, and dreams. In this story, we meet Molly, a single mom with a unique skill and passion.
We're having a birthday party at Reed Park Zoo here, and we have a lot of our friends and family from the gym. I'm Molly Helsel. This is my daughter JC's second ever birthday. I just realized this morning that she's not my baby anymore. She's changed me a lot in so many amazing ways, in ways that no one else has ever been able to. Hi, Beba. Is she gonna get you? You better go get her. One of the coolest things about being a mother is the feeling that kind of love of having someone in your life that without even a second thought that I would give my life for her in an instant. Keep an eye on the clock. Fresh guy every minute. Everybody's ready. Ready. On the bell. Go! Now use lots of strikes, Andrew, lots of strikes. Hit him hard. Hit him as hard as you can. Constant, constant, constant. Go, go, mount. Good. Do not let him get you off of you. Punch him hard like you mean it. There's that triangle. Tap, tap. Right now we've got a fight team MMA practice going on. We're just putting them through the grinder today. I want to see them want to quit, and I want to see them not quit.
Molly's tough. She doesn't give up on us, especially the fighters. She puts us through the ringer. We could feel that as a team, that she really does believe in us, and she dedicates a lot of time to us.
Get all the way down as to grass on the floor. I've had 23 professional MMA bouts throughout my 13-year career. Come on, suck it up, Buttercup, let's go. You have to take into consideration juggling life, juggling family, school, job, your body being broken down and having to pick yourself up and show up to training again. Just try to give them the best advice that I can while in their corner. You know, make that person pay for getting in the cage with you. And relax, have fun. It's just another day of training.
Fighting out of the blue corner, representing Undisputed with a clean...
You should be confident going into a fight. You should know that you are prepared and ready. You have to find out what is their trigger. Find out what it is that motivates them, what they're afraid of. Kicks, Victor. And then sometimes there comes a point in that fight where you have to pull that card. Stand up, and that means you're gonna get the knee in between him and you. Side to side to side. It's not so much about the win on paper. You know, it's the win of overcoming that fear, overcoming that doubt, making it through those training camps when you don't have the ideal situations. I started getting into trouble just behavior-wise probably about 12. You know, just being defiant and running away, breaking the rules, that type of thing. And then I did start getting into some pretty heavy drugs by the time I was 15. Started smoking pot probably about 13 and started using meth at 15. And pretty quickly after I was introduced to it, I was doing it on a very regular basis and selling it. So it kind of took over my life. Just living a crazy lifestyle, and it came down to one day there was a shotgun involved. The shotgun ended up going off inside the hotel room. I was given a handful of drugs and told to run, and I just remember just being so high and so scared at that point that was my breaking point, and that was where this is too crazy. And I just looked around and I said, I'm way better than this, you know. And I just that's when I started making the move just to walk away from that life. my family investigated a program called North Star, which was one of these wilderness-based, stick you out in the middle of the woods for a couple of months, see how you like it. If the path went this way instead of that way. You know, I think about that all the time. I remember having a bus ticket to run away to Phoenix to go be a prostitute. That seemed alluring to me at the time. To think if, you know, a friend hadn't ratted me out, and that's when I had gotten sent to that wilderness boot camp. If that hadn't happened, you know, where would I be today? It was the things that I learned in that camp about expecting more from myself, realizing that I was capable of more than I thought I was, that helped me be the adult that I am today. First introduction was just watching a martial arts special on Discovery Channel, covering more of your traditional martial arts, kung fu, taekwondo, that type of thing. I did see some females on that program, and it was something I'd always wanted to try. The next day I started calling around to different schools. I stumbled across a Jeet Kune Do Unlimited out of Honolulu, Hawaii. I came to find out that it was more of a mixed martial arts. So it's the style that Bruce Lee developed, but the particular group that I was with was more about the concepts and philosophy. Initially I had walked in from the aspect of just doing something with my life, self-defense perspective, that type of thing. I remember very clearly the first day that I ever sparred. I remember standing in front of this guy, and he jabbed me twice in the face, and my head snapped back, and I was just in shock. I almost wanted to cry, just like, what is happening? And then I got mad. And I took him down and I choked him out. And that's when I realized that I had it in me. I enjoyed the fire that it made me feel. It just really sparked a passion in me that I had never really felt before. It was so interesting and exciting for me that I picked it up pretty quickly. Shortly after that, I started beating the boys in class and then decided to take it to the competitive level.
Molly Halsall has recorded 3 wins and 5 losses, fighting out of...
When I began fighting, there was probably about 30 women in the world that competed at the professional level. Now there's probably thousands. The way that women reviewed that were competing is that you must be lesbian, you must be butch, you must wish you were a man, you must think that you're a man. You must not be feminine, that type of thing. And it was really pretty ignorant. I don't even really respond to people telling me what I should or shouldn't be doing. I don't tell you how to live, so I just didn't really let it affect me. I have a fight coming up. It's my first fight in 3 years. It's a local fight against a girl that I don't know a whole lot about. It's funny how it works, because the more you get your butt kicked in training, the more hopefully successful you will be in the actual fight. Got the sprained finger, I have a compressed elbow, I have a hyperextended elbow, I have a strained calf muscle, I have a sore neck, I have a sore nose. It's all minor stuff. You know, it's kind of a big deal just because I've been on the bench, on the sidelines for about 3 years due to having my daughter and taking care of her. I'm excited to get back in there and just not just prove to the world, but prove to myself, too, that I still belong, that I still have a place in the sport. A lot of people sometimes will ask me, well, gosh, aren't you scared? Well, hell yeah, I'm terrified. Any fighter that tells you that they don't get scared is either lying or stupid.
Making her way to the cage by way of Tucson, Arizona, representing Undisputed. Ladies and gentlemen, fighting out of the red corner, Molly, the Molly
I could be beat, absolutely, but by the time I walk through the cage doors, what goes through my head is there's no way this chick can beat me, and I'm gonna make her pay for getting in the cage with me.
There you go.
There's always gonna be about that first 30 seconds into a fight where you get that adrenaline dump and you're just tired and you just can't do everything's in slow motion. Sometimes it takes a little while, a couple of hits before you get that one that just kind of snaps you out of it. And that's how I know that I'm a fighter to my core, and I take that good hit and I'm like, okay, we're in a fight now. And there's just no fear. I had to finish her there. I just kept saying in my head that I had to win this fight. This was a must-win. Especially to have done it in front of so many people that have supported me and really worked hard to help me get here. Cry if I lose and cry if I win again. You know, ultimately I want to be in a position to where I'm respected in not only the MMA community, but in my particular community as a whole, and you know, just be a great role model for my daughter, be somebody that she is proud of. I want her to be able to brag about me someday, you know, as not just this has-been fighter, about somebody who actually accomplished things.
Like what you see on Arizona Illustrated? Visit our webpage at azpm.org to watch and share videos from this episode. You'll also find stories from future programs, an easy way to submit your own story idea, an archive of past episodes of Arizona Illustrated, and you'll find everything you need to stay connected with public broadcasting in Southern Arizona. azpm.org. Just managing to pay the bills as an artist can be a challenge. Add kids to the mix and something's got to give, right? Or perhaps something simply changes. Next, we take a very personal look into the lives of 3 Tucson-based artists and how motherhood influences their art and art influences their being mom.
I can't imagine not taking a photograph. I really can't. I feel like it would be like I severed a limb or something. Like I just would feel off. My name is Shannon Smith. I'm a photographer, a teacher, a mom.
I have a certain amount of artistic energy and it needs to be being directed somewhere. But where that somewhere is can be different, but it has to be somewhere. My name is Natalie Brewster-Wynn, and I am a performance artist and a yoga teacher.
I'm Catherine Ide, and I'm an artist and a mom. My mom was an artist, kind of like a Sunday painter that also had 5 kids. So she would bring out her art supplies, and I would be really excited when they came out.
When I was pregnant with Lucy, I guess I had all these ideas like, oh, you know, I'll be an art mom, you know, and it'll be great. She'll be a little artist and we'll do things together, and you don't realize, like, God, she needs me every second.
There's a higher priority in some ways. Like taking care of your kid has to be your highest priority. Having a child really motivates you to make good use of your time.
A lot of people try to keep their work separate from what, you know, their child. This is mine, I'm doing this, and there comes a point where it's kind of like, I felt like you're fighting it.
Okay, I'm just gonna take a test shot, Lucy. I'd get on a shoot, you know, and I'd start doing it, and then, you know, they were in their little pumpkin seat, but again, you know, just the constant, hey, I'm here, pay attention to me, and so that's when I was like, you know what, okay, well, you're just gonna be in it, and it just went from there.
Having a kid is really hard. It's physically difficult on your body. There's a lot of pain involved for everybody. And so doing yoga or doing movement, I never wanted to have that practice be totally separated from my kids. And so I was always trying to find ways to do yoga with my daughter and to do acrobatics with my daughter and have these creative processes.
Nice. We started doing collaborative drawings together where we will collaborate on one piece of paper and share the paper and move the drawing paper around and draw and write over each other's things. Those are what really sparked my interest. I thought that there was something really special to them.
This is a good example of a recreated one because Lucy's first day of school, of kindergarten, was mayhem, just parents everywhere. And I didn't want to cry in front of her, so I went back the weekend after her first day of school. I just started recreating things I would see that happened in our lives, but at the time, I couldn't stop, and oh, well, I'm gonna take this picture because, I'll wait on you. You don't need me right now. I'd take care of the kids, and then, okay, well, we're gonna recreate this, what you did, but I'm gonna have way better lighting and move things around and have it look the way I want it to look.
The balloon project is called Love Letters Leave No Trace, and it was inspired by the imagery of children's birthday parties. The process of the project is each color palette deals with a particular theme related to childhood development. And then each theme, I choose a text. That text is then exploded onto balloons. And then I give my daughter, or both of my daughters, give them the balloons and set them loose in a landscape and let them install the balloons. And then it sort of becomes the process of what happens then, like what text becomes important, which balloons are the ones that pop and fly away.
No! Natalie, a balloon flew away.
The end result is photographs, right? But it's not really a photography project. It's a collaborative project, and it's like a ritual installation project, and it is a performance in its own way.
I contacted a certain residency and asked them if they would accept teams of a parent and child. They said, we've never done this before, but we're interested. So we started that project in Buenos Aires in June of last year. Let something happen, let the chaos happen, and then I come in and I make order out of the chaos. And I've likened it to motherhood. It's like, you're thrown this curveball, this is what you have, and how do you make this work? How do you make this cohesive and happen and pleasing and wonderful and good, for both of us. My intention was to make really great pieces of art, not just to hang out and play with my daughter with some art stuff. As a fine artist, I wanted the work to be good. I wanted it to be exhibition, quality. And she takes me to a different place.
At the end of the day, it usually isn't what I set out for, but they always do. Like, I always get something out of it, and honestly, what they do, it was better than what I even thought. So, got some pretty good little models. I must pay them well, and Dairy Queen is usually their payment.
1, 2, 3. Children can be a very powerful image if you just mess with the record a little bit, and so it's been a really cool thing.
This is really pretty right here.
I like this part.
There's something magical about children's artwork and that free expression that comes from this natural place that you can't bottle it. Everyone would buy it if you could.
Sometimes I can't imagine them when they do grow up and what am I going to create, but I'm sure I don't need to think about that right now. I'll think about it when it happens and it'll be fine. But when I first had kids, it was hard, and now I can't imagine them not being in my work. I really can't.
I think what I have wanted to pass on to her is a sense of resourcefulness, and that's the most important thing to me. We create art in the end, but what we do along the way is figure it out with what we have available. And I think that that's a really useful process to learn both in art and in life.
All right. Thank you so much.
And now it's time for Favorite Places, our limited series featuring architects who are speaking thoughtfully and personally about a favorite building, place, or space in Southern Arizona. For one-time student Robin Schambach, first impressions years ago of the environs of the University of Arizona's main gate are now given life by her current passion and career as an architect.
As I entered through the main gate entrance of the University of Arizona as an 18-year-old freshman, I had no knowledge of its history. but I instinctively felt that the organization of the space, the scale and materials of the buildings, and the integration of the landscape made this a college campus like those I had read about or seen in movies. Main Gate and the historic West Campus district made me feel like I was on the college campus I had always imagined. That traditional feeling was not just my imagination. The 1919 UA Master Plan by John Beatty Lyman is similar to the Thomas Jefferson Plan for the University of Virginia. The secondary row of dormitories and the use of curving paths and streets, in contrast to the symmetrical and classical characteristics of the building, are distinctly Jeffersonian. At the same time, I felt a familiarity with the place. The grass lawns, trees like olives, pines, and cypress, and the flood basin irrigation were so reminiscent of my origins in the small community on Oak Creek in the Verde Valley. There, yards and fields were irrigated by ditches, and the early pioneers imported trees and plants from their eastern homes. Many of the trees located in West Campus are included in the campus arboretum, and some, like the Chinese pistachio, are designated heritage trees. Although this part of campus has a public nature, there is also a sense of personal ownership, particular places that feel private. The arcade of orange trees between Gila and Maricopa Halls is my favorite example of this. For you, it might be the turtle pond, or one of the benches that line the tree-shaded path, which looks out over the flood basins and the lava rock wall to the busy street life on Park Avenue. Now that the Main Gate area has new vibrancy with restaurants, shops, and the modern streetcar, the tranquility of the West Campus Historic District provides the same respite and pleasure it has for more than 100 years.
Share your favorite place on the Arizona Illustrated page at azpm.org. Thank you for joining us here on Arizona Illustrated. Next week, the life and legacy of farm worker, labor leader, and civil rights activist Cesar Chavez, sharing smiles, styles, stories, and hope, giving and receiving the gift of life and a new favorite place. I'm Tom McNamara. Thanks for watching and see you next week.